It's a busy August panel this evening on the Newshour. Let's have a healthy debate, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to Dr. Ababdev Habib, who's the Secretary, Democratic Teachers Front, joining us from our Delhi studio. Zafar-e-Ab Jilani, lawyer and member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board. Major Gaurav Arya, joining us from our Delhi studio. Professor Kamal Mitra Chenoy, also with us from the studio there. Irfan Hafiz Loan, lawyer and activist, joining us from Jammu. GVL Narasimha Rao, national spokesperson of the BJP from Delhi. Professor Rakesh Sinha with us from our Delhi studio. And of course, Tarek Fatah. Well, there is a fatwa out on you. There is a beheading ordered around you. But no, there is no outrage across at all. And one wonders why. But before we dive into the debate and try and call out this good fanatics and bad fanatics, some facts for our viewers. First up, the trolls got caught because they couldn't sift fact from fiction. The video that is doing the rounds, half-baked, full, whatever, was posted by Gurmehar Kaur in May 2016. It has had more than 15 lakh views, and all the trolling that has happened yesterday in response to that video is an old one. You should have trolled her a year ago, not now, not yesterday. The other fact that she has not named ABVP in her complaint with the DCW. She has not named ABVP or any individual member claiming to be part of the ABVP. She has named one individual who has in graphic detail explained what he would like to do to her, which is absolutely unfortunate, and that person deserves to be pulled up, arrested and put behind bars, because that is not right. But what we want to call out first, is this a narrative that's being pushed deliberately, Mr. Zafar-e-Ab Jilani? How is it, sir, that just around the crucial leg of the polls, you suddenly have this narrative being pushed in campus politics in Delhi?
So first I would like to explain to you that I am not participating in the debate as a member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, because Personal Law Board has got nothing to do with such matters. So whatever I say in individual capacity. Now what has happened at Delhi campus? How do you expect me from Lucknow to comment upon that? Because you see, in India, such things have been happening that people try to take advantage of such events at the time of elections.
But you can comment on what happened from Bareilly, sir. You can take a position of what happened from Bareilly.
No. You see, I tell you that any such attempt, any such threat being given by anybody, whether Muslim or Hindu, I have always condemned it. I will always say that it deserves strictest possible punishment under our law. So there is no question of saying that people are silent. When you will put a question, I will reply.
Yes.
Otherwise, neither I have gone.
Mr. Zafar, I just want to understand, I know you began with a disclaimer that you are not here to represent the Muslim Law Board. But are you disappointed that we've not seen enough number of institutions come out and condemn this kind of a behavior? The fatwa that's been released, these threats that are being issued against Tarek Fatah, or 10 lakh bounty, asking people to go and behead him.
I tell you that.
Yeah, are you disappointed that there is not enough outrage, that we are not seeing too many big faces and leaders come out and condemn it?
You see, I don't think that I have not heard the name of that person who was given this fatwa. It is not a fatwa at all. It is a crime that he has instigated some persons. This is not a fatwa. Fatwa is a
Zafar-e-Ab Jilani, sir, you say it is a crime. You say it is a crime. You say it is a crime. Rahul Gandhi, who did not have the time to tweet about the Kansas hate crime and the death of Srinivas in Kansas, who did not have the time to respond to this fatwa on Tarek Fatah, had the time to respond on Gurmehar Kaur today. My question, sir, is why is this selective activism and selective calling out of fanaticism or tyranny? Why is this happening, Mr. Tarek Fatah?
You see, I can't hold brief for Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
Sir, I'm bringing in our other panelists, Mr. Jilani.
To any Muslim scholar, he will condemn it.
Sir, your point noted. Bringing in our other panelists, Mr. Fatah first.
See, my feeling is that no one in India, or for that matter in Europe or North America, wishes to be labeled as quote-unquote Islamophobic or anti-Muslim. It is a question of how the liberals and the left have behaved across the world. they've made very dangerous allies in their anti-American attitude with the Islamic right. So while it would be safe to raise issues where the perpetrators and the victims are of the same non-Muslim origin, my understanding is that the people who threatened this young woman in a very despicable manner were not Muslim. But if it comes to critiquing a Muslim, for about 70 years in India, you can't do that. The moment you do that, you're labeled as communal, and that's a label that in the West would be called racist. So it's better safe for those guys who for I would say decades have
Mr.
controlled
Fatah,
the Muslim community.
Mr. Fatah, while you are talking about a larger global trend, what we are also trying to say here is it's not just about whether you can critique a certain religion or a community or not. It is once you've done that, and the army of people who stand up or choose to not stand up, that is what we are questioning, that selective defense. For example, and rightly so, we believe in both of the cases, whether it's a fatwa to calling out for somebody to be beheaded, or whether it's an army of social trolls or actual people going and issuing rape threats to a young 20-year-old. People have to stand up and call out to both sides. And that is what we are asking. Why is there selectivism coming in there? Professor Kamal Mitra Chenoy, especially in Tarek Fatah's case, we've seen events that were supposed to be held in fancy clubs in Kolkata were cancelled. Permissions were not granted. He went to another event from where he was heckled, another Islamic event where he was heckled and thrown out. People said you were not invited. When these kind of events happen, where is the outrage from the liberals? If you're talking about freedom of speech and everybody should be allowed to speak, then why don't we see outrage across the board at the same level?
Well, I agree with you. In fact, I would say that it's not a question just of free speech. It's a question of hate speech against a particular individual by, you can call them zealots or fanatics or whatever. But to attack someone for his religious beliefs by people who are not themselves very enlightened about that religion is extremely unfortunate. It is not good for secularism. It is not good for that community. It is not good for free speech. And unfortunately, this is not the first time this has happened.
For what Tarek Fatah is being made to go through, or the way he is being treated, the way we are saying today for Gurmehar, shouldn't it be the same, sir?
I don't think the coverage for his case has got the same light on various channels. But I can tell you, in an earlier incident in Calcutta, where various people wanted to have a discussion on Kashmiri Pandits, and the chief minister stopped that. Many of us said this is against free speech. And this is an attempt to defend a minority, and this should not be done.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Why is the outrage selective? Why, sir, you are exactly saying what we debated, Tarek Fatah being ousted and not being allowed to speak along with Major General G.D. Bakshi and the others, Gaurav Arya, at that time, when it happened in Kolkata. We called out his heckling at the Urdu festival when he went in as a spectator, and he was heckled because some people wanted to take photographs with him and others took offense. No, but where was the Delhi Chief Minister and where was the Delhi government taking offense, and where was the hue and cry by the Aam Aadmi Party? Sir, I'm going to call each individual political party. Where was the Congress Party and Rahul Gandhi? At that time, Gaurav Arya, why didn't he question Mamata Banerjee? Why didn't he question the tyranny and what was being done there? Why is it that he is contesting elections with Akhilesh Yadav and he does not have a word of advice to him for his cleric from Bareilly? Why is this selective? But when Gurmehar Kaur and gets trolled by one person in graphic detail, that one person is not singled out. An entire organization is branded.
So this is just the politics of convenience, I think. And as usual, Rahul Gandhi is ill-advised. And what these people have done is, when Mr. Tarek Fatah was openly threatened with beheading at not one but two, from two places, Calcutta and Bareilly, all these people could do was, keep quiet about it, because elections are around the corner, elections are going on. Muslims might feel offended. It doesn't matter if a person's rights are violated. It doesn't matter if the entire legal system of the country looks like it's a jungle. There is no credibility. So this is what these people, they will compromise at any level. They will go to any extent to compromise and make sure that their vote bank is secure, sir.
No, but I think also the problem is to look at a religion as one unified mass of people. And there is no one who can speak for them who the others the fanatics don't accept.
No.
So there needs to be a liberalization of the way religion is portrayed.
No, we are calling out a bluff. There is a politics of appeasement which is at play, and that very clearly says the ultra left versus the right. And if there is a certain party and a certain disposition, let's just go and create this entire appease the other section and create a fear psychosis, and that's what is at play. Uttar Pradesh is going into polls in 7 phases. GVL Narasimha Rao, this is what is happening, and the point is, are both sides wanting to do it? Are both sides wanting to create this entire ruckus, a campus fracas in Delhi, so that there are benefits that can be reaped individually in Uttar Pradesh? Why is it, sir, that there is no outrage against the lumpenism displayed by certain members who claim to be part of ABVP, by the BJP, by the RSS, by anybody who has got, of which the ABVP is a subsect of? Why is it that one person who graphically trolled and threatened Gurmehar Kaur in the most vile manner has not yet been pulled up by the ABVP members themselves, saying that this is also not nationalism, this is also not tolerated in India?
Anand, I think I would like to question your assumption that he is a member of any group affiliated to the RSS.
If he is not, sir, he should have been pulled up first.
Whoever it is.
Either way, sir. Either way, sir. Either way, I'm saying he should have been pulled up.
Let me say, whoever, not just pulled up. I think whoever it is, I think this is a criminal act. And I certainly expect Delhi police to take note of it and ensure and make an example of it.
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao is not making about assumptions. So it's not about assumptions here, and we are not doing that. We don't know. We hope the Delhi police, and it's very easy for you right now to say we hope the Delhi police finds out and takes action.
What basis are you saying?
If that is the case, if he's not ABVP, if he's not RSS, then why hasn't your party and your party leaders come out more strongly and said, no, this is unacceptable? Rape threats, I will give you an example, sir. Certain minister from your party has gone on to say, I don't know who's polluting this girl's mind, but a strong armed force prevents a war. India never attacked anyone. Perhaps he could have added a line about the kind of threats she was getting and added a word of caution to these social media trolls as well. He went on to speak about freedom of expression is not a license to shout anti-national slogans in campuses. Perhaps to that he could have also added, it is not also a tool for you to intimidate any girl, any person, man or a woman, to troll them, to abuse them, to threaten them for rape. My question to you is, did we go after one set of people and then forget about the other side?
No, we went after which set of people? We are not even willing to debate these topics. I asked, your channel had called me several times before we said yes, because this is student politics, and I think this should have actually been left best to the students, because you media made it such a big issue.
I absolutely do not want to discuss student politics with you tonight,
sir, as well. You are doing it in 24 into 7.
I absolutely do not want to discuss student politics with you tonight.
I must have my say. You can't go on speaking. Let me speak. I think anybody who has really given that kind of a threat, I think the law must take its course, and you cannot let such people, such lumpen elements, wherever they belong. I certainly am told they have nothing to do with the ABVP. Even if somebody belongs to ABVP, it does not matter. Whoever it is, giving such threats is simply not acceptable, and the law of the land must take its course.
Sir,
and I think Delhi police cannot simply be playing spectator. They have to act on this.
Yes, GVL Narasimha Rao. The other aspect is from Virender Sehwag to Randeep Hooda to Kiran Rijiju to Pratap Simha, Rakesh Sinha and many others, they all jumped the gun. They all responded to almost a year-old video. That's what they did, Rakesh Sinha. Why should a 20-year-old who's posted a video a year ago get questioned? Because her issue was with the lumpenism displayed by the ABVP at Ramjas College. And it was just a still photo which said, I am not afraid of the ABVP. I am sure the students are with me. So she was talking to the students. Rakesh Sinha. So who politicized this matter?
What is the basis of making targeting ABVP? There is no reason.
The reason is there. Reason is what happened outside Ramjas College. The reason is what happened outside Ramjas College between two student groups.
She told she just told me in another channel that she was told by 10 friends, so she had written. My point is that in India there is a dualism. You will not condemn Tarek Fatah, fatwa against Tarek Fatah, you will not condemn fatwa against Taslima Nasreen, you will condemn someone else. I think this dualism is the real cause for the degrading intellectualism in India.
No, we are questioning the dualism, but Rakesh Sinha, first please also condemn anybody and everybody who under the garb of working for the ABVP resorted to gundagardi there, resorted to name calling the women and abusing them and taunting them, saying, "Chalo, hamare saath, hum tumhe dikhate hain kya hai azadi." Whoever said that, sir, cannot claim to be part of the ABVP if you believe that your organization and that organization is a subset of the RSS and eventually ABP workers also end up as tall leaders of the BJP.
I am telling you, whosoever maybe he should be taken to the task.
Why haven't they been taken to the task yet, sir? Why haven't they been taken to task by the ABVP itself? Why haven't they been taken to task by ABVP itself? Why haven't those names been pulled out and said these people are debarred?
Anand, larger question. Anand, just give me 30 seconds. The larger question is that CPI, CPM, we expected that CPI, CPM would hegemonize the CPI-ML, the ultra-left group. But unfortunately, ultra-left group is hegemonizing the CPI, CPM. They are getting led by the ultra group. CPI-ML was formed in 19...
So that is one part of the debate. Professor Rakesh Sinha, we are going to come back. Let's just go one issue after the other. Let's not jump the issues here. Professor Rakesh Sinha, no, the point here that we are making is, let's not be selective. And if we are saying let's not be selective about how we defend Tarek Fatah and how we defend Gurmeet, then let's not also be selective and calling out lumpenism and goons and people who threaten other people. Now, and if the ABVP leader goes out, stands in the middle of the road and says, "Jo ungli uthayega uski ungli kaat denge," that also has to be condemned by the leaders. It cannot be one-way street, sir. GVL Narasimha Rao, I don't want to get into student politics. That is not the point of the debate here. Perhaps you got me wrong there. That is not the point of the debate. The point of the debate is what BJP MP has tweeted. And BJP MP has tweeted about the comments that this girl made in a video, the message that she put out a year ago, GVL Narasimha Rao. It's not about what's happening in Delhi today. It's not about what's happened in Delhi in the last 1 week and the clashes that are happening there. The video that Gurmeet put out a year ago, where she speaks and advocates peace, that was the only idea of the video. The BJP MP has taken that and he's compared it to Dawood Ibrahim. And if we can just try and run that tweet for you, in case you or some of our viewers have missed that. What do you have to say about that? Is that acceptable? Is this kind of trolling by a BJP neta acceptable, Narasimha Rao?
I wouldn't call it trolling. I think that would be unfair. It's an opinion. I would not subscribe to that opinion at all.
It's an opinion. He's comparing a 20-year-old girl who's advocating peace.
This is ridiculous.
He's comparing a 20-year-old girl who's advocating peace to Dawood Ibrahim, one of the most wanted terrorists of this country, GVL Narasimha Rao.
I don't agree. I'm saying I do not approve of this.
That's all I'm asking you. That's all I'm asking you. That's all I'm asking you.
I said that.
So why haven't we heard it from BJP all day?
Earlier.
Tanvi, it's not only ABVP. Even we have heard senior leaders of the BJP.
I do not.
Yeah,
senior functionaries
Irfan
of the
Hafiz
BJP.
Irfan Hafiz Loan, sir. Sir, we are not taking sides tonight. We are calling out anybody and everybody who's selective in their criticism and pulling up. GVL Narasimha Rao has come out and outright condemned those people who behave like hooligans as claiming to be part of ABVP, and he's also condemned this kind of tweet and trolling that is happening on social media by a BJP MP. Irfan Hafiz Loan first up. You call out those
Anand,
people.
there is a
No,
world
you
of
first call up.
difference.
You first
There
call
is a
out those
world of
people
difference.
who have called for a
As far
fatwa,
as
who have issued a fatwa on Tarek Fatah.
case is concerned,
You first
and
you
as
first
far
call
as
them out,
Tarek
sir.
Fatwa's case is
You
concerned,
first call them out.
There is a world of difference between two. Please don't compare.
Why shouldn't we compare?
That's why.
Why shouldn't we
Tarek
compare?
Fatah is
Why shouldn't
there.
we compare? Tarek Fatah is heckled. Tarek Fatah's event is blocked. Tarek Fatah is then there is a bounty announced on him. There is a beheading announced about him, and you said don't compare that. But what? But a 20-year-old gets
There's
one
a world of
person
difference.
who's threatened her
Just give
online.
me a chance,
That is
I
a
will
big issue for
explain.
you.
Give me some
This
time.
is a small issue for you. Why aren't both issues the same?
You see, this man has no local standard.
Who are you to decide that? 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 You have no business backing somebody who calls for the beheading of another man. You have no business backing somebody who calls for the beheading of another man in my country, sir. You got no business doing that. You've got no business doing that. Condemn what is being said about Tarek Fatah and the fatwa on Tarek Fatah before you talk anything about Delhi. You first condemn what is being said about Tarek Fatah before you say anything about Delhi.
Let me tell you.
Otherwise, I'll give you 30 seconds to think and I'll come back to you. Think about it, Irfan Hafiz Loan. Otherwise, I don't want you to talk. Gaurav Arya and Dr. Abba Habib.
I want to say
Dr. Abba Habib, and I'll come back to you after Gaurav Arya.
Yeah. Who is Loan to decide whether Mr. Tarek Fatah has the credentials or not? Is Mr. Loan an Islamic scholar? Is he an elected representative of the Kashmiri people? Who is he? And he is doing exactly what those mullahs were doing to Tarek Fatah. He's doing exactly the same thing. He is giving certificates to everybody.
No, but here's the point. He's saying that if I don't have locus standi, my murder is acceptable.
Yes, absolutely.
See,
Go ahead, Tarek Fatah. Go ahead.
so if I do not have locus standi, if I'm just unemployed, downtrodden, homeless person, Mr. Loan is saying, I deserve to die because I don't have locus standi. What utter nonsense, what absolute garbage in any terms of constitutional law or Islamic law. It is because of people like this that Muslims around
We
the
are
world
paying
have
him,
to
but he is always
bend their
crossing
heads
the
over here.
Lakshman Rekha.
You defend
Really, Irfan Hafiz Loan? Why don't you then tell me who are the people who are crossing the Lakshman Rekha when they are throwing stones at our forces in counter-terror ops? Why don't you tell me?
And not
why don't you
that,
issue a fatwa against them?
By the way, these people
I don't
are the same
justify
people
fatwa.
who
You
are...
don't, so then condemn the fatwa against Tarek Fatah also.
I don't
If you don't justify
justify
fatwa, condemn the fatwa against Tarek Fatah also.
should be
Otherwise,
booked
please
under
pipe down, let the others speak.
298.
Tarek Fatah, and then we'll go to our Delhi panelists. Yes, Tarek Fatah.
I'll just make a point. It is nothing new for Islamists and mullahs in India to threaten slaughter or beheading. I will remind your viewers and you that in late 1800s, these very same people went to Mecca, got a fatwa on Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and demanded that he be beheaded. That reformer of Islam, that founder of Aligarh University, had to hide. All his crime was that he had translated the Quran in a way that mullahs could not have a monopoly on it.
Yes.
And which they maintain till today. So
Yes,
if
all right.
Syed can be threatened. These people who
But my point is, sir, if the so-called liberals are against the fundamentalist and radical views, why aren't they coming out on the streets when you are ill-treated and when you call these fundamentalists and their bluff? Why is it that outrage doesn't happen? Why is it selective, Dr. Habib?
Because this man hurt
Irfan Hafiz Loan, please wait. Irfan Hafiz Loan, please wait. Like I said, you first condemn the fatwa against him, then you talk on the Newshour tonight. Otherwise, you listen. Otherwise, you listen, Irfan Hafiz Loan. Dr. Habib and Kamal Mitra Chinoy.
Loan साहब 4 बीवियां चाहिए आपको?
Can I say 3 things?
Yes.
I want to make 3 submissions, 3
Ji.
points. One is whether it is fatwa or panchayats or media trials, they all need to be condemned because they impact individuals' life like anything. They destroy individuals. I want to also say that trolls on both the sides, on all the sides, have to be condemned. I also want to say that I've been in your studio 8 p.m. onwards, and I say that You know, everything in the country today is being done in a selective manner. And I agree with you that everything which is being done today is because elections are around the corner, and we cannot debate on the issues which touch everybody's life. We are not asking about farmer suicide. We are not bringing into policies on higher education into debate. We are not debating policies which are impacting everybody's life.
Dr. Abba, just to get this point straight, what you are saying, Dr. Abba,
everybody is
just to get this point
For example,
straight.
I want, please.
Are you agree? Do you accept?
I mean, I've been quiet for all this while.
Okay.
See, I mean, Umar Khalid did not come to Ramjas finally, and yet violence happened. And in the videos which you showed on your
Who
channel
invited him in the first place? Do you know the people who invited him? Were you aware that he was coming to Ramjas? Dr. Habib, were you aware he was coming to Ramjas?
I was coming to?
Were you aware?
No, I was aware that he was
that
invited
Umar Khalid
to
was
talk
coming?
about Bastar, and he was to talk about Bastar.
Why
how
was
the
it?
British
You didn't have any other.
rulers,
You didn't find any other speaker. You knew the history of Umar Khalid. And you didn't find any other issue other than Bastar to talk about at Ramjas. When you just now highlighted, let's talk about farmer suicide. Let's talk about other pressing issues that are not being talked about during these elections, Dr. Habib.
And plus, please wait. You have to see. Unfortunate is that in your shows on prime time, we are ready to say something which is, not even the fact. Umar Khalid, when the organizers were told that Umar Khalid cannot come, Umar Khalid was approached and he was told not to come. It is another matter whether really we can allow one group of people to decide that ye Draupadi ka play will happen in Haryana University or not.
Dr. Abadev, it's very, very clear. Dr. Abadev, that's exactly what we are saying. It's very, very clear. And while on the surface of it, you say that yes, there is selectivism when it comes to calling out the fanatics, when it comes to calling out people who support terror, when it comes to calling out people who support separatists, it's not showing in your actions. It's not showing in your views right now, Dr. Abadev. So let's cut to the chase, Dr. Abadev. Let's cut to the chase. I want to really understand this. You began your argument by saying, yes, I agree, we are seeing selective reaction and response here. So said then, why are you being party to it? Why are you being selective in your outrage? Why are you allowing Umar Khalid to come and speak when you know what his ideology is, when you know he is a sympathizer of Afzal Guru, when you know he backs separatists, when you know he glorifies Burhan Wani, when you know this is how he speaks and this is what he thinks, then why are you not calling out that kind of an ideology, Doctor?
What a person cannot say, what is sedition, what is not sedition, what is freedom of speech, where you will put the limit, you are not.
Yes, so Dr. Abadev Habib, you as a secretary of the Democratic Teachers Front saw how Tarek Fatah was treated when he went for the Urdu Fest, but you didn't come out and protest and say if Dr. Tarek Fatah, if Tarek Fatah is going to be, beg your pardon, if Tarek Fatah is going to be treated like that, please come to Ramjas. If you are not allowed to speak in Kolkata, you please come and speak. We will create a forum where you can question Pakistan and its proxy war, where you can call out the bluff and you can also question Islamic fundamentalism. Why is it that you put your hand up for that?
I'm a teachers group. I belong to a teachers group, and we are also seized with the matters which plague us.
So Bastar became a burning issue, and Umar Khalid was the only person who could speak on Bastar, despite knowing fully well what you empathize with. Do you empathize with Umar Khalid? Do you agree with his idea of separation? Do you agree with his idea? Do you agree with his idea of separation?
But he did not throw any stones.
May I ask you something straightforward, Dr. Abadev Habib? I have asked you a direct question. Do you agree? Do you empathize, or do you agree with Umar Khalid's version of what his idea is of separation of Kashmir from India?
No, I told you last evening also, I was here. I'm saying that I am, as Tarek Fatah is, for the space individual enjoys in a country like a democratic country like India.
Dr. Habib, space is correct.
And I'm not.
Space is correct, but like Irfan Hafiz Loan was talking about the Lakshman Rekha, there is a clear Lakshman Rekha. that Lakshman Rekha exists not just for the soldier. That Lakshman Rekha exists for every citizen of this country. That Lakshman Rekha, Dr. Habib, even in freedom of speech, even in right to express, exists not just for the soldier of this country, but for every single individual. You do not question the idea of India. You do not give a platform to those who question the idea of India and who want to harm the fabric that is the idea of India.
Play in Khalsa colleges stop.
Dr. Habib,
tomorrow a seminar
Dr. Habib,
in some other university
Dr.
stop.
Habib,
I'm not for this kind of
Dr. Habib, Dr. Habib, my humble submission to you is, I am with you when you called out the ABVP lumpens or elements who claim to be part of ABVP. Rakesh Sinha come in, who misbehaved with the people and created violence. But I am not with you in giving platform to those who question the very idea of India. I am not with you by garbage or disguising them in under this entire veil of freedom of speech. Sorry, ma'am. If my soldier, if our soldiers don't have the right, if our soldiers don't have the right to question the idea of India, and if they have a Lakshman Rekha, we as civilians, we as people of this country have to follow that Lakshman Rekha and not cross it. Freedom of speech does not mean you question and challenge the idea of India. Period.
This is your personal view.
No,
this is your personal view.
This is the person's view. This is the citizen's view. This is the citizen's view. You question a politician. You question policies. You question implementation. You question what can be done for the state. You demand more for the state. You do not demand separation. You do not question and challenge the idea of India. Jayant Sinha.
They are not for the proletariats. You are not standing for proletariat. Your concern is not the proletariat.
Rakesh Sinha, beg your pardon.
You don't decide for us, yaar.
Your concern
You don't decide for us.
From India. You are questioning the sovereignty of the country. That is not the freedom of the speech.
No, she is not. She is not, sir. She is not, sir. But she is in favor of giving a platform to those people.
I am talking about the Indian left.
Those people. You are being guided by CPI-ML. Sir, I am going to go only by an individual. I am not going to brand any group.
There are 300.
No, sir. No, Rakesh Sinha. No, Rakesh Sinha. No, Rakesh Sinha. With due respect, sir, you question the platform. You question the position certain individuals take. You do not decide. You do not question and point fingers at Abba Habib on her ideology, on her position.
There is a scuffle in the campus. That should not happen because this unsettles the academic life. But you are making a mountain out of the moon. But you are not speaking about what happened in Jadavpur University, Kashmir ki azadi. In JNU, 10 tukre of Bharat ke 10 tukre. These are the larger issues because left hegemony is being challenged. Alternative narrative is emerging. So students and teachers of left wing are in
Kamal Mitra Chinoy. Kamal Mitra Chinoy, come in please. Gaurav Arya, Kamal Mitra Chinoy. Yes, come in please.
Umar Khalid. He's not a scholar of repeat. His reputation is only that he's supporting.
Rakesh Sinha, allow Gaurav Arya and Kamal Mitra Chinoy to come in, please. Rakesh Sinha, allow the other Delhi studio guests to speak. Rakesh Sinha, please. Rakesh Sinha, please.
Suppose tomorrow Nandita.
Rakesh Sinha, please. Don't. Rakesh Sinha,
Indian Army has
show some respect to your other panelists, will you, Rakesh Sinha? Do you want me to mute your mic, Professor Chinoy? Professor Chinoy.
Please don't create a binary.
I have just 2 points to make.
Professor Chinoy.
One Muslim versus another. Umar Khalid, we will.
Please hold on a minute. Let your other panelists also speak. Please hold on a minute. Yes.
Professor Chinoy and Gaurav Arya. After that, GVL Narasimha Rao and Zafar Yab Jilani. Yeah.
Okay, I have just 2 points to make. Number one, about army. After the encounter with Burhan Wani, who was the HM Hezbollah Mujahideen commander, the Northern Area Commander, Lieutenant General D.S. Huda, said that we must solve this problem together, we must talk, and amongst the people he said we must talk with were separatists and student leaders. So the army has tried its best to reach out and work out a settlement. So let's be very clear. The army is not just fighting with weapons. The army is also trying to reason out an argument.
Yes.
And sometimes it says things which are unexpected but which are true. About Omar Khalid, the fact is that Omar Khalid, with 2 more students, including Kanhaiya Kumar, was charged with sedition around this time last year. the High Court gave him bail.
Yes.
Because the definition of sedition is not what you say. In the last judgment of the Supreme Court, they said that yes, this man has said Khalistan Zindabad in the case then, but since there is no incitement to violence, there is no case of sedition.
That is a grey area, sir. Because
just 1 minute, Professor, just 1 minute. We are still waiting. We are still waiting for that charge sheet, and that case is not closed yet. He's still technically booked for sedition. But I want to take up the point that you made. No, I agree with your first point. I just want to take that point further. I don't just want to make this debate about one issue and go from 1 February to a year later to the same issue. And the other side of it also has to be addressed. And Major Gaurav Arya, let's come back to the issue of what that girl said in that video for which she was told a year later. Like Anand correctly pointed out, that video about where she starts speaking about her father first, who she lost when she was 2 years old, around the time of the Kargil war, and then she goes on to appeal for peace. It was selectively picked up. For some reason, she was trolled in the last 2 days over it. Now, is that also acceptable? Are we looking at a time where one person cannot even express their opinion and ask for peace in the country? Have things become so bad that this girl then comes out and talks about how she's getting these rape threats, how people are actually trolling her, threatening her, and she's going into the details. She's almost breaking down. Yet, there is a part of the leadership that doesn't come out and address that. Are we being selective there as well? Irrespective of what she's doing in politics today. Let's not get into it, Major Gaurav Arya. Let's just talk about a 20-year-old's honest appeal that she made a year ago, and is it right for anybody to lash her and target her for that?
Okay, I have very quick 3 points to make. Number one, may not be very important, but just to let people know, Gurmehar's father was not martyred in Kargil. He was martyred in August of the same year after
like
Kargil.
I said, Major Arya, around the time of the Kargil war, let's not get into the details or the technicalities of it.
All right.
She had a point to make about peace.
Now 2 things. Now 2 things, ma'am.
Yes.
I have seen the video and I do not find anything that Gurmehar said offensive. She has said nothing anti-national. And I am surprised and shocked that a person can go online and give out a rape threat against a woman. This person deserves to be in jail and the keys need to be thrown away forever. You cannot be disrespectful. And any person who says that he's a nationalist, and I believe this and I'm saying this from the core of my heart, you are a nationalist if you cannot respect a woman. You cannot defend Mother India. Mother India is a female form. If you cannot respect a female, if you cannot give respect to a woman,
like a
we do not want such people as nationalists. They are selling the name of nationalist. This guy needs to be in jail.
Well said, Major Gaurav Arya. GVL Narasimha Rao.
I mean, how could anyone say this?
Yeah, and whoever has said it, that's why I said, sir, that's why I said very clearly that such people, those people who are protesting, even if there are 2 rival factions, they need to come together and pull out such people who bring down the entire decorum and the discourse itself. Dissent is part of campus politics. Dissent is part of our daily life. But there needs to be certain decorum that needs to be maintained. And this kind of lumpenism, those lumpens need to be pulled up first, and the Delhi police must pull them out, irrespective of which group they belong to, whether or not they belong to a group is immaterial. Even this online, the person who she has named as Rahul, that guy deserves to be pulled up. What he has done is wrong, should not be tolerated. Yes, GVL Narasimha Rao.
No, Anand, I think let us look at the larger issue. As far as the threats to Gurmehar are concerned, I think there cannot be any difference of opinion. I think nobody can take law into their hands. Nobody can threat violence, and a rape threat is even worse. So I think there are enough provisions, I am confident, which can be used to really ensure such people don't get away lightly. And as far as the campus politics are concerned, it's okay to have a debate and dissent, but to allow our campuses to be used for anti-national, anti-India propaganda, like the one we have seen in JNU, where students openly raise slogans of Bharat ki Barbadi. and if such attempts are to be made in other campuses in India, why should anyone really...
Well, I tell you what, GVL Narasimha Rao, it's been 5 days since these clashes have gone on in the Delhi campus. We haven't seen a single shred of proof that anybody raised any anti-national campaigns. Yes, we questioned that event and the organizers of that event for calling, for inviting Umar Khalid, but let's not make it about these clashes or any sloganeering about right now, which were anti-national. We don't have evidence.
They have the right to shout Azadi.
No, but you know,
if they say Kashmir mange Azadi, you have a problem. You have the right to object. We will be the first to object. But if they say Bhrashtachar se Azadi, then if they say Bhrashtachar se Azadi, you can't fault them for saying Bhrashtachar se Azadi, GVL Narasimha Rao. Just because they raise Azadi doesn't mean that they raise the Azadi slogans. No, what I'm trying to say, sir, you have to sift fact from fiction. We have to sift fact from fiction.
Bharat ko barbad karenge.
Sir, did they say it outside Ramjas College?
Please bring the evidence.
Did they say it outside Ramjas College? If they said it outside Ramjas College, let's bring out the proof and let's call them out. Let's line them up individually and show them to the country. Sir, if they did not, but if they did not say it, then let's line up those people who vitiated the atmosphere and line up those people who have politicized this entire atmosphere for their individual personal gains and selectively chosen to react. That's my point, sir. That's my point. This is students you're talking about. Let's keep that part clean. Let's keep that part of politics clean, and let's not be selective about our radicals. Radical elements in a liberal society, in a democratic country, in a secular country like India are dangerous irrespective of extreme left or extreme right or wherever. Radicalism has to be addressed equally from both sides. And that's what I'm going to call for. We have to wind up this edition of the Newshour, but just going out, on the way out, this is the question that we have put out on our Twitter handle. It's pinned to our post. The question is, raging on Gurmehar, silent on Tarek Fatah, are parties being selective on fanatic fury? You please tweet with the hashtag Fanatic Fury. Join the poll. 90% of the people tonight believe. 90% of the 2,500 plus respondents, 2,700 plus respondents believe parties are being selective, sir. Everybody is being called out by the viewer tonight. That everybody is being selective. Let's not be selective in calling out the radicals and the fanatics.
Doctor, just a second.
I want
you
one
want
line
to
also.
have someone being beheaded.
I'm way over, sir. I'm way over. This debate will continue. I have to wind up. Sorry, Tarek Fatah. Sorry, Dr. Habib. I have to wind up. Irfan Hafiz Loan. Have to wind up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have to wind up. I'm sorry.